With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. A first carry now. This is Hill. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
A throw out wide caught by Hopkins. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They go play action with Jackson. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Here's Jackson to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. And the QB rating right now sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Stroud sets up the play action. He's got it to Collins, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Stroud looking to throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Pass throw right back to Joe Mixon. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Here's Stroud. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Jackson now. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Jackson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
Out now is a punter, Jordan Stout. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And the first drive, 3-and-out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Stroud. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
The coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Stroud to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
The slot man in motion right. A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And Stroud now to throw. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. A handoff to Mixon. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Tommy Townsend now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 79 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with him. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Houston's offense taking over again. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Stroud working out of the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete?
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, partners, the first quarter too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
3rd and 19. Stroud. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. Hopkins making the catch. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
There's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to when you want to. That play calling is working very well for them right now.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
2nd and a couple. From the gun, Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. And the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. They got to get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
Throwing now is Stroud. To Mixon on the check down. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Mixon with a first down carry. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. Stroud out of the gun here. That's complete. It's Collins. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 35.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud. Rolling to his right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2 from the gun to give to Mixon. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Once again, they run with Mixon. Powerful running. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He finds his running back, Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Back to throw now on 1st down. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Schultz. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dalton Schultz, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Texans are back within a score.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And that's going to be incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
They go play action with Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
To throw is Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Jackson will throw again. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. In motion left, Flowers. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
Now it's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught. For a Ravens touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level. But defensively, they're doing everything they can to protect this early lead after giving up a touchdown on their last drive.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Stroud. He'll complete this one to Collins. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And this offense on third down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Stroud. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Off the option, here's Henry. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. On the slant, DeAndre Hopkins. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. This 2nd and 4. Flowers going to go in motion right. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards. So that one just a little touch pass, but it paid off quite handsomely.
Yeah, and let's face it, the quarterback loves it because it pads his stats as a completed pass for nice yardage downfield. But I like the way they get the receiver in motion. It's almost like he's running a route before he gets the football, because he's got a full head of steam when the ball is popped in his direction.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They give it to Hill running right.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Jackson now. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Ravens take a 3-touchdown lead. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Stroud looking to throw. Looking deep here for Mechie. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Stroud. He finds his target. It's Schultz. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Now 2nd and 3. And Stroud now to throw. Finds his man. It's John Mechie. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 19. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Stroud to throw it. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They work now on 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. Stroud steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half. 1 second, all that remains. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. Stroud off the play fake. Right side completes to Mechie. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Stroud working out of the gun. Repeated the last play, going to Mechie here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now Joe Mixon. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Stroud out of the gun here. Quick slant caught by Kirk. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Stroud. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Odafe Owe able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described, a defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And the Ravens taking the field. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Now Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for them.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Will Anderson in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. This is 2nd and 8. Again, it's Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Stroud work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Stroud. Open man is Kirk. Complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Texans send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back.
Hitting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Jackson from the shotgun. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
To throw is Jackson. A short one there, caught by Likely. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
A first down carry for Henry. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Three quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. And did he get in? No, they'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. After the interception, here's Jackson. He'll buy some time, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from a yard out. And the Ravens have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. Muscles by at the 25. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Texans back out there and ready to go. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's second down. Now Stroud. This will be complete to Mechie. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. Stroud looking to throw. He gets this one to Mechie. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Second down and a yard. The throwing again is Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 36. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
And that's patience to be admired right there because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Stroud. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Mixon will try the right side. Wiggles free. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
From the 24 now, here's a 2nd down and 9. Again, it's Mixon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Mixon on the toss right. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Only able to gain a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Texans will take over. Houston set to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Fights him off, and he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup, What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front three, your front four, your front five, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Stroud to throw it. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And, oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
They'll try and run with Mixon. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Throwing is Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Jackson to throw. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Jackson to Andrews on that one. 1st down, Baltimore. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
Jackson now. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Andrews. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Henry up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have made it a 3-score game now here in the 4th. This one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that, because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And now out comes Houston.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's second down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Here's Stroud.
That is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
And that last penalty makes his 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5.
Throwing now is Stroud.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Now a 2nd and 10. And Stroud now to throw.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 33 yards that time. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
And they ran just a little underneath route here on 1st and goal, but there's really not a whole lot of room to operate this close to the goal line. He's just not able to get loose after the catch.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. To Mixon on the check down. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Stroud will look to throw once more.
The pass finds Mechie in the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Texans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
He's got it at the 2, and he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics would tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
A higher-scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.